And we're here. Maybe y'all know last week I was sick. Dex was sick. My baby sick. It was bad last week. But we here today. How y'all doing? Glad y'all here. This Champagne Conversations. If y'all do not know, I am Kimberly Latisse. Not to be confused with lettuce. You eat lettuce. I'm Kimberly Latisse. Okay? Thank you. Ooh, today, y'all, today, we're talking about enforcing boundaries. This is gonna be a tough one for a whole lot of people. Cause baby, we talk about boundaries all day. Everybody about those are my boundaries. Those are my boundaries. I said that's my boundary. But a lot of y'all put up boundaries and then y'all don't enforce them. So let's talk about actually enforcing those boundaries. Now I did try to do my little banner with the explanation and all that. I only had 200 characters and I was not able to do it. So to effectively enforce boundaries, clearly communicate your limits, state consequences for crossing them, because discipline is at every age. Discipline does not stop at childhood. All right? Be consistent in your actions and stand your ground. Bow, bow, stand your ground. While also being patient and I cannot ever potentially, that chokes me, potentially reassessing if necessary. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today in a nutshell. That literally is a summary of this whole entire show. Thank y'all for coming. God bless you. Good night. Just playing. Anyway, so we're going to get into the first slide. We got 3 slides to go over today. I'm not gonna be here too long with y'all. We got 3. The first 2 kind of good, but the last one has 8 talking points, and that was gonna be really extensive. So let's get into it. Hey baby. Oh, it is. You are absolutely correct. First, identify and communicate your boundaries. All right, so first, know your limits. Hold on, let me make you a moderator. It won't let me do it, babe. Not on here. So I don't I can't do it. That's interesting. I'll I'll go back through and I'll figure it out. Identifying and communicating your boundaries. One. First, know your limits. Reflect on your needs and values to determine what you're comfortable with and what you're not. All right, that's self-explanatory. You sit around, you think, okay, let's reflect. Let's break this down. First, let's go with reflecting your needs. Because, yes, as a human being, you have needs. Okay, so we're going to reflect on your needs. What do you need out of this situation? Whatever person that is, because each person is a different situation, so you got different boundaries. So what is my needs for this situation? So it might be, let's just say that person has a tendency to talk too damn much about your business. Let's just go. That's something. Okay. You talk too much. Like you tell too many people too much. Okay. Like chill out on that. So that is the need that you want out of that person, that out of that situation. So that is reflecting your needs and values to determine what you're comfortable with. Sometimes you may or may not be comfortable with having that conversation. That's a whole nother topic, but you need to be comfortable with explaining your needs to other people. They don't have no problem explaining it to you. So get over that real quickly. All right, use clear and specific languages. All right, we all have different walks of life. Some people have different educational levels than others. And so, therefore, you have to make sure that you're speaking the way that you might need to be speaking now. If you're in the workplace, you just can't be like, look, man, you done fucked up. You can't say that at the workplace. So, like, use clear, concise language, specific language that goes across to that person. Sometimes you got to get indignant with folks to get your point across. If you got to get indignant, get indignant. If you got to keep it cute, keep it cute, but make sure you are using words that both you and that person understand in whatever manner. I don't give a damn if it's in interpretive dance. If that's the specific language that you have to use, make sure that you are clear in your interpretive messages. Okay? All right. Oh, communicate your boundaries directly and respectfully. Explain why you need these boundaries met and how this affects you. Example, I need for you to not talk about my business with other people. When you do that, that makes me feel X, Y, and Z. You tell them the action that they did and how it affected you. You have to put them two together. Cause, effect. Cause, effect. Some people just tell the effect, the effect, the effect, the effect, the effect, the effect, and never tell the cause. And that's how it's miscommunication. That is how we get these unneeded arguments. That's how wires get crossed and people feel a certain type of way when they don't need to. Make sure that you are specific and precise. If you have the cause, you need to tell the effect. You are explaining how this affects you. So when you talk about my business to other people, because when I confide in you, this is supposed to be between me and you. I feel like da 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 da. Put them together. Okay. Now, this is what I was talking about when it would start to feel like. Now, yes, consider using I statements because it is very important that you explain how you feel, but make sure not to cross that thin line of now just attacking. There is a way to explain. That's when I say the cause and the effect. But when you say, I feel like this when you do this, I feel like this when you do this, after a while, you're going to feel like you're belittling and dehumanizing that person. Okay, yes, I fucked up. But, we can have a conversation without you attacking. So that's when I say it's a very thin line. Yes, tell how it makes you feel by using I statements. So you are specifically saying how you feel. I feel like this. So it doesn't seem like you are projecting onto them. But then when you just start and you're not really doing the cause and the effect, you just affect. Now you've crossed that very, very thin line of having a conversation. Now you have escalated a conversation to an attack. Is that for everybody? No. Everybody doesn't feel like that. Well, Kim, that's not for everybody. Well, then apparently I'm not talking to you. But I am talking to the ones that do feel like that. Learn how to pick the meat and spit out the bones. All right? Thank you. I'm literally that type of person. Okay. So don't cross that thin line to go from a conversation to an attack, because then that will escalate the whole entire situation and turn it into an argument. Especially if the person that you're speaking to is confrontational, because everybody is not emotionally stable. So that's when you use clear, specific languages. If somebody's emotionally unstable, so you try to cater your words to make sure you're still getting your point across without causing a conflict. Because please try not to go into every conversation ready for a conflict. Everything is not a conflict. We can have conversations. We are adults, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And provide context. Explain the reason behind your boundaries, which can help others understand and respect them. That just basically all ties everything else. Because if you really explain your reason behind I have these boundaries to prevent da 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 because da 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 happened. So if there's a backstory or context to that boundary, some people will better understand it and will be like, like this is like something that is very personal to that person. If you have a true friend that actually cares about your boundaries and how things affect you and how you feel, that's a true friend. If you have a friend that is upset because you don't want them to treat you a certain way, that is not your friend. Run for the hills, which come with your strength, because that is not your friend. Your friend should want you to be comfortable with them. That is your that's why we look for friends, for companionship. We don't want to be with somebody who doesn't give a damn about how we feel. Like you're hustling backwards. That's crazy. Okay. That's Mountain Dew. Cause y'all be on some shit on here. All right, so bam. That's the first banner. Identify, communicate your boundaries. We went through all that by knowing your limits, using clear and specific language, communicate your boundaries directly and respectfully. Sometimes you do got to get a little disrespectful if you're dealing with a disrespectful motherfucker, but hey, All right, so consider using I statements, but make sure you do not cross that thin line to make it from a conversation to an attack, and provide context. Bow. That is slide number 1. Slide number 2, establish consequences. Kim, what do you mean? Like I said, discipline knows no ages. And just because I say discipline, that does not mean pull out the strap and get to working. There could be discipline in different ways. And so let's talk about it, okay? State the consequences for crossing your boundaries. What will happen if someone disregards your limits? So, we have already had this talk. I don't like when I confide in you and you take my information and tell somebody else. Y'all have a conversation. Y'all agree, hey, my friend, I will not do that. Come to find out they did it again. So now, bow, we get into the consequences. You find out later on down the line, baby, she yibbity yapping and she pillow talking, telling your business again. So let's talk about it. State the consequences for crossing your boundaries. Now, I know I done told you. Don't disregard my limits and you did it. So now XYZ got to happen. Because remember, you already communicated your boundaries. And you stated how crossing them boundaries will make you feel. So now this is to me, I'm gonna go ahead and get personal with it. To me, if I give you a second chance, this right here, this is no conversation. I'm not establishing consequences. I'm not doing none of that. We're going to the field. We're going to the yard. We're going to the squared circle. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, be consistent with your consequences. So you say, all right, now, bet. We done. You block me, I'll block you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Bye. Goodbye. Or whatever your consequence is. Some people might still be friends. Some people have a lovely heart. The Lord did not give me that. So, bam. You block. You gone. You out of my life. Boom. Pow. Big boom. Bam. We out of here, right? Consider the severity of the consequences. So you got to tailor the consequences to the seriousness of the boundary violation. This is if you're that type of person. And I added that because some people, you cross my boundary, that's it. Some people, you told a little bit, but you didn't tell like all of it. But that's still, you still speaking on me type thing. So if it's not that bad, you can just be like, that's if you're that type of person. Whatever you decide to do, you do that within that. Okay. But you still have to be consistent with that. You keep on fucking up. That's you got to remind them. You keep on fucking up. Like, look, I'm giving you this chance, but don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. But if you're the type of person that's gonna cut off, make sure that you cut off. That's all communication. You block them on everything. Look, you are out of my life. My no means no. So that's why I put, if it makes sense, why I put both of them in there. Because if it is a violation of it, but you don't see it as severe, you can tailor your consequence to that. And these are for the folks that's like, look, you did it, period. You out of here. So this is the don't offer a paradise a reason when to say no. You don't get them. It's this no vacation. This is no. There is no way back in. You get no way back in. Not if you do this. Oh well, what if I do this? Or if I da da da, if I do, my no is my no. That means like if they try to add you back on, like let's just say you block them on social media. They try to send you like friend requests or try to make a fake page and send you like trying to get back into your life, or I don't know what kind of friends y'all were. Trying to get back into your life, you have to let them know, like, there is literally nothing. If you cross this boundary, there is nothing that you can do. You cannot kiss my ass enough to get back into my life. Like, you literally have to tell them that there is literally nothing that you can do. Once you cross this boundary, you are out of my life. We're done. All right? Establish that. Within that, this is when y'all look. If you do this, that, this is what you're establishing the consequences with the person. All right, I know this is a lot, so we're gonna have like a little break. Maybe you need to get a little water, step away, stretch. I'm gonna do the same. We'll be right back. Hey y'all, while we on this little break, if y'all want to follow me on any other social medias, here they are. And if you're in a giving mood, want to drop a girl a little tip or something, here's how you can do that. And now, a little breaky break is over. Now back to the show. Whew, all right, child. I had to pop my back, my neck a little bit more. I think I got a good pop out my knee. Well, don't get old. Do get old. Do please get old. Get as old as the carbon in your body can handle. Please get old. But baby, when I say don't get old, baby, don't let these joints and these knees and everything get old, baby. Do yoga, Pilates, go walk, baby, while you still got these functions. Because baby, when you stop doing it and start aging, child, you better keep these joints young while you can. That's my PSA. Let's get on to this next banner. Enforce them. This is the extensive one, y'all. This is the extensive one. All right. Be assertive, not aggressive. We're gonna try the peaceful approach, y'all. It's the peaceful approach. Be assertive, not aggressive when it comes to enforcing your boundaries. So your friend went to yep, talking that talk, right? So now it's time to enforce the boundary. It's time to enforce the boundary. Stand up for yourself while remaining peaceful and calm, because we're trying to be demure. We're being nice and demure, okay? Demurity, if you will. I don't think that's a word, but it's a word today. The act of being demurity. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't apologize for setting your boundaries. These are my boundaries, and we talked about it. So I'm not apologizing for the person that I am right now. This is my boundary. you crossed it, we are going to talk about it. That's if you're talking person. Because remember, we're peaceful. We're peaceful right now. Okay? And don't apologize. And don't let nobody, because you know, this is when the gaslighting going to come. Oh, well, you know this. Da, 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 da. No, and then they're going to try to, no, that's not what we talked about. That's not what we said. Because they're going to try to, they're going to try to sway you. Don't apologize for it. Look, this is what I'm not sorry. This is what's gonna happen. Be prepared to repeat yourself. That's what I said. You know it's gonna be the back and forth. Look, we talked about this. I said this. This happened. I'm not backing down. These are my boundaries. You don't respect them. So this is so A, B, C, D, E, F, and G is gonna happen because you cannot respect the boundary that I have. You're gonna have to repeat it. Because they're gonna try to twist people gonna try to twist your words. Just keep on. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to go around and around and around and around and around. Don't be afraid to say no, because you know they're gonna put up a fight. They're gonna try to bargain. They're gonna try to bargain because these people are trying to stay in your life. And you know, not everybody that's your friend is your friend. Some people will do for you just to have something over you. And those type of people are dangerous. Not saying that that's everybody. Everybody in the world is not like that. I am speaking on those people because y'all do know I am an abuse advocate. So of course I'm going to speak about the abuses of abusive people. So if you're like, oh, that's all she talk about is people. That's all she does. I'm literally an abuse advocate. Went through it for years and years of my own life with me and my own children. So yes, I'm speaking on the ugly side because there is an ugly side. Everything is not light and pretty in the world. There are people that are going to speak on the light side, but there are also people that's going to speak on the dark side. So I try to do both. So if this is a little bit too dark for you today, that's fine. I'll probably have something better for you next week. But this is the topic for this week. Okay. So what were we? Don't be afraid to say no, because like I said, they're going to try. Saying no is a form of self-care. Saying no is one of the best forms of self-care. That is the best form of protection. Saying no can literally save your life. A 2-letter word can literally save your life. Do not be afraid to say no. That is the number one best way of advocating for yourself. I beg. If you have a hard time telling people no, just start practicing it in the mirror. Like you practice twerking in the mirror, practice saying no in the mirror. I mean, you can say it with a nice face. No. Say it with a mean face. No. Say it with a sleepy face. No. But practice saying the word no. It literally is the best form of self-care ever. All right, where are we? All right, like I said, and it can protect you from time, energy, and mental health. Ta-da! Oh, Kim, would you like to? No. Oh, Kim, can I? No. Oh, Kim, would you like to? No. It's okay. They can be upset because guess what they're going to do? Just go ask somebody else the same question that they just asked you. Because believe me, if they want it done, they're going to find a way to get it done. And if you're not going to do it, somebody else will. So if you don't want to do it, say no. Kim, can you? No. Kim, what about? No. All right. So consider seeking support. Kim, what do you mean? Some people are soft as baby shit. So they need somebody to help them enforce their boundaries. That's fine. There's some kind-hearted people out here in this world. Bless your little kind heart. I hope it takes you far in life. And I pray that you do not fall victim to someone who will abuse your kind heart. I really do. All right. If you're struggling to enforce boundaries, reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or even your therapist. Some people got damn good therapists that will help them to enforce their boundaries. I love that for them. Find you a good therapist if you can. But remember, your therapist is not your friend. All right, so family member, we all got that one family member that don't play no games, that they usually call when they need somebody talk to real crazy or cussed out or help to create and establish boundaries. That would be me. So invest in that. Find a trusted person. If you're not able to enforce your boundaries, find you somebody who will enjoy helping you do so. All right, be patient with yourself and others. Setting and enforcing boundaries take time and patience. Yes, it does. Rome was not built in a day. Some people need repeated, repeated until they get it right. Do not get upset with yourself. Have grace and patience and love with yourself while you are becoming this new person, because in order for you to have to enforce these boundaries and establish these boundaries and pass out consequences, something had to happen. So you have to give yourself grace, because you're learning how to be a new human being. You used to be a doormat. Now you're teaching yourself not to be a doormat. You still got to go from a doormat to like maybe some outdoor carpet to, maybe a little astroturf before you become hard concrete. There's levels. So please be patient. And if you are establishing boundaries with someone that is probably going to be in your life for a long time, be it a really good, some people have good friends that they work out stuff with. I love that for y'all. But spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners, however you want to call, however you identify yourself in your relationships, co-workers, things like that. Those are people that you are going to repeatedly see. And so, yes, you're going to have to probably have the boundary talks with them more and more and more, because they're literally somebody who probably knew you for a long time. Oh, girl, you ain't used to be like this. Oh, you playing. You'll be back to normal next week. Like, of course, you're going to have those type of people, and you have to reestablish and reinforce and read with them as well until they learn, like, damn, you not playing, like, you really changed, like, you used to go for that shit, you don't do that no more. So you're going to have to just keep redoing it over and over again. Okay, consider gradual implications. Okay, what do you mean by that? Introduce new boundaries gradually. Some people just can't jump out there and just create a million boundaries at one time. Sometimes people create boundaries as the situations occur. That's especially like when people, because people change, situations change. You may get a promotion, same job, different level. You will have to establish new boundaries. You go from boyfriend, girlfriend to fiance now. You have rings. You're looking at China together and all these. The same boundaries. I mean, some people still see fiancés as girlfriend, boyfriend, but the boundaries that you had as a girlfriend and boyfriend, they're going to change as a fiance. That's like fiance, engaged people's, their boundaries are going to change after marriage. Me, myself, personally, all them boundaries are considered the same. But hey, that's, like I said, some people, those are situations that change. Same two people, boundaries can change. So, or as you get older, you don't have the same boundaries that, let's just say you and your cousin grew up together. You don't have the same boundaries when you were 5 that you have at 40. Like, y'all don't have the same boundaries. So boundaries and people do change, and boundaries will consistently change. All right, here go the main one. Here go the main one. This is the one that I love. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Cut off if hey, if you have to. If you have to cut somebody off, sayonara. Get on. If somebody consistently violates your boundaries and refuses to respect them, it may be necessary to limit. That's what I mean, like family. You know, some folks are still gonna have family around. You go over Aunt Gloria house, cousin Itchy there. Cousin Itchy, the one that you done fell out with, you don't have no contact with. It would have been nice if y'all would have let me know cousin Itchy was gonna be there. I wouldn't have showed up, but still, that's a whole nother thing. So boundary still stands, consequence still stands. You may just, if he come in the room, you get up and leave. Or you see him there, you turn right around and you leave. Like that. Or just end contact. You know, no contact is fine with me. You never want to see that person again. You block them on everything. Don't ask me about them. I don't know. It is like I never met them in life. Like you can literally go back to a time in your life where you never met that person. That would be great. Just go ahead and do that. In contact. Because some people are just not meant to be your friend. Like literally. You know what? Let me write that down. That might be the last sip. That might be, y'all. Because I need to touch on this. I need to touch on that. Yeah. But yeah, going no contact is a great way of just bam ending it. All right, baby. This the end. If y'all just not get here, I'm so sorry, baby. It's time for the recap. It is recap time. If you're just getting here or came in a little late, that's okay. I got you. It is time for the recap. Hey, welcome. My name is Kimberly Latisse. This is Champagne Conversations, and today we're talking about enforcing boundaries. Okay, with that, let's go through here. Identify and communicate your boundaries. Know your limits. Reflect on your needs and values to determine what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Use specific and specific languages. Avoid vague statements and kind of, yeah, I don't, you know what I'm talking about. No, they don't know what you're talking about. Tell them what you're talking about. All right, communicate your boundaries directly and respectfully. Explain why you need these boundaries and how they affect you. Consider using I statements, but make sure you do not cross that thin line from taking it from a conversation to an attack because I. After a while, you're going to be like, knuckle up. That's just me. But just in case you're dealing with somebody who's going to knuckle up, make sure you don't do that. All right. Provide context. Explain the reason behind your boundaries, which can help others to understand and respect them. All right. After we do that, you're going to establish, you're going to have the conversation to establish consequences because discipline knows no age. State the consequences for crossing your boundaries. What will happen if someone disregards your limits? Be consistent with your consequences. Enforce the boundaries you set, even if it's uncomfortable. Because some folks don't like boundaries. We don't care. Consider the severity of a consequence. Tailor the consequence to the seriousness of the boundary violation. Don't offer any reasons when you say no. Don't offer a way out. Don't do nothing. Over explaining can lead to more discussion and erode your position. So the more you talk, they're going to find a loophole, try to loophole out of it. And like I said, try to talk you out of it like we talked about before. Do not allow that to happen. All right, so enforce boundaries. Be assertive, not aggressive. Be assertive with it, stand your ground, but remain calm and peaceful because you are talking about your boundaries, but try not to bring conflict into it first if you can. Some people go straight to conflict. Hey, if that's on you, be assertive but not aggressive. Just don't swing it. Be prepared to repeat yourself. Some people may need reminders and multiple attempts to understand and respect your boundaries. Like I said before, they're going to try it. They're going to try it. Repeat it. Look, we talked about this. I don't like that. Don't do it. Because you know what's going to happen if you do it. Don't be afraid to say no. Saying no is one of the best forms of self-care and can protect your time, your energy, and of course your mental health. The word no can literally save your life. If you don't want to do it, do not be afraid to say no. If you're someone who has a hard time saying no, practice saying no. Okay? No is a complete sentence. It has a subject, a predicate, it's got an adjective, a conjunction, junction, what's your function. It's got all of that. Make sure you say it. Okay? Consider seeking support. If you're struggling to enforce boundaries, reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or a therapist for guidance because some people are soft and they need somebody that's gonna be like, stop being a bitch. Like you really need a Debo in your life. So if you're somebody who's soft and somebody can walk all over you, if they can talk you out of your boundaries, get you a Debo. Somebody that's gonna hold your feet to the fire and be like, no, you're not gonna let them do you like that. Like get back out there. Like you need one of them. So consider support if you're soft. Because some people are. They're delicate, they're demure, they're soft, they're nice. They're nice. Be patient with yourself and others. Setting and enforcing boundaries takes time and patience, especially if you're somebody who used to be a doormat. It takes a while to go from doormat to concrete. So have patience. It is going to be a journey and it's going to be a struggle to establish boundaries and actually not let anyone talk you out of them. All right, so consider gradual implications. Introduce new boundaries gradually, especially with people who may be resistant to change or the situation changes. Some people just hard headed. Hard headed make a soft ass. You got to whoop them a little bit. I'm just saying. And then, like we had said, the situation can change. You can go from partners, girlfriend, boyfriend, from to fiance. Those boundaries change. Then you go from fiance to marriage. Those boundaries change. I'm trying to stay in. So that's what I mean by the situation can change. Or you go from cashier to a fry cook. Boundary change. Go from fry cook to shift lead. Go from shift lead to manager. Manager to franchisee. All of those boundaries change as the situation gradually goes up. All right, cut off if necessary. Hey, if some people consistently violate your boundaries and refuse to respect them, it may be necessary to limit or just cut off contact. What I mean by limit, it may be a family member or something like that. You know, you always gonna see a family member somewhere. They're gonna be some damn well. You might see them at a family reunion over your auntie house or over your cousin house or at the church. You're gonna see them. So even when if you decided to cut off contact, you still need to cut off that contact even with them there. You can do that by just not fucking acknowledging their existence, or or leaving. And some people be like, "Oh, you here? Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna go." So that's still establishing your boundaries and it's still cutting off contact. All right, so this is the last tip. And I already said that I was going to touch on everybody ain't your friend. You know that song, everybody's your friend, everybody ain't your partner. Okay, so everybody not. And just because somebody is your friend, that don't mean that they are friendly. That don't mean that they your friend. You can be their friend. But you don't have to be their friend. And it also applies on social media as well. Just because somebody, okay, I'm going to use TikTok for example. Like if I send you a if I follow you and you follow me back, we're considered mutuals. And TikTok says you're friends. I use that very loosely. Just because you are mutuals on an app or considered quote unquote friends does not mean that you are actually friends. You are still strangers. You're just friends on an app. And some people really take that word friends and they misconstrue it. And they really use that they use that word friend to try to make other people hold folks accountable when they don't have the balls to do it. Like, and that really bothers me because just because someone is someone's friend does not mean that they have the ability to control that person. Like, just because now all of a sudden, oh, we're friends, now all of a sudden we're connected at the hip. What you do, I do. Evil twin, evil twin. Like, no. And like, just because someone uses that word friend, don't allow someone to use that word to manipulate you. Oh, ain't that supposed to be your friend? You gonna allow them to do that? Or ain't that supposed to be you my friend? How can you talk to me like that and I'm your friend? And like, do not allow people to use that word friend and manipulate you or try to make you hold somebody else's feet to the fire, or try to, because some people will gaslight the fuck out of you with that word friend. You're not supposed to do a friend like that, or how could you do that? Da, 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 da. Because even with this whole situation that we're talking about with enforcing boundaries, if you're trying to enforce boundaries with a friend, you will hear that word so much. Do not allow anybody to use that word over you, to manipulate you, and to gaslight you into doing things that they want you to do, or that they don't have the balls to do themselves. Hey, friend, girl, go over. You know that. Could you go over there and knowing that they could potentially probably be putting you in danger, or doing something crazy, or just don't allow nobody to manipulate you with that word friend. Okay, all right. I love y'all down. I'm finna get the fuck up out of here. It's been 42 minutes. I said 30 to 45. We in there today. So right now we 42. Oh, we finna get up out of here. Okay. I love y'all. Have a good day. Make sure that you love yourself as much as you love others. Okay? And live this day with purpose, on purpose. Okay? And with that, we finna head on up out of here. Bye. Beats by Riff Raff.